Welcome to Key Travels. My name is Amber Key, and I like to show you different videos and tell you about things that you can do while you are here in San Antonio. Whether you are visiting or you're a local like me and you're just trying to discover something new to do in your own city. Well, today's video is a comparison video. So I've done a comparison video between SeaWorld and Six Flags. Now I've done one for Halloween and I've done one for Christmas. Well, this one is Mardi Gras edition. So I have been to both SeaWorld and Six Flags for Mardi Gras. I have already posted videos for those. If you have seen those videos, you might have an idea of how this video is going to go and how this is going to end. Now, the SeaWorld Mardi Gras is this weekend coming up through February 16th, Monday, February 16th, is the last weekend for Mardi Gras. So if you wanted to celebrate Mardi Gras at SeaWorld, this weekend coming up is your last chance. However, the Mardi Gras celebration at Six Flags will go on through March 15th. So you still have a whole nother month to enjoy Mardi Gras at Six Flags. So for this video, I am going to be ranking a point to each park, depending on where I want that point to go. And I have atmosphere that I'll be judging it on, decorations, food, the value for the food in particular, shows, organization of how everything is like on their app and everything, parade, and extra activities and merchandise will be the categories that I will be having. So they will have to where they can get about 9 points if they get 1 point for every single category. So let's get started. Now again, this is not going to be a park to park comparison. I will do a park to park comparison, but that's going to be a little bit later. So this one is just Mardi Gras in particular on how they celebrate Mardi Gras. So I'm not going to have into consideration the rides or how I like the rides, and I'm not going to have into consideration shows that are not Mardi Gras specific. So example, the Orca show at SeaWorld, which is fantastic and I do enjoy a lot, it is not a Mardi Gras show, so therefore I am not going to consider that as part of this on whether it would get a point or not. So without further ado, first category, atmosphere. Now when you first walk into SeaWorld, they do have a Mardi Gras sign to let you know when you first walk in, you're hit with that music, and which I did absolutely love. I loved walking in. It started the vibe. However, the vibe ended with the music. It didn't go much further than that for SeaWorld. So for SeaWorld, it kind of ended with the music. There wasn't much around you to give you that Mardi Gras party vibe or at all. There wasn't much there. Now for Six Flags, when you walk in, well, first of all, you walk in, there's that big sign that says Mardi Gras Festival on it with the Mardi Gras mask. And then when you walk in, you hear the music and then you see all of the decorations everywhere. You know, when you come to this park, they are celebrating Mardi Gras. It is not just an afterthought. They intentionally sought out to celebrate Mardi Gras. So this is what was their whole intention. This is what they wanted to do. And because of that, obviously, my point goes to Six Flags. So Six Flags is going to get the point for this, for the atmosphere. Now, for decorations, when you walk into SeaWorld, it is very minimalistic. Again, it is like Mardi Gras is an afterthought for SeaWorld. I did see very few decorations. Not that they were great. They were not fantastic decorations by any means. They were very simple. And it was like a pole that was decorated, maybe some garland. They did have some lights that were lit up, which I thought was really funny that they had lights for Mardi Gras, considering that the park closed at like 5 o'clock. So it closes like 5, 6 o'clock on the weekends and stuff. And, you know, it's not dark yet. So, yeah, that was kind of, I didn't really get to see the lights so much. And there weren't a whole lot of decorations. So obviously, when you walk into Six Flags, though, when you walk into Six Flags, you have decorations everywhere. Now, it's not throughout the whole park. I do wish that they kind of celebrated throughout the whole park, which they don't. They do have shows pretty much everywhere except Crack Axle Canyon. They didn't have any shows this year in the Crack Axle Canyon area, but they do have a lot of decorations focused in that main area that you first walk into, the Fiesta area, and then over in Rockville is another area that they have the decorations. Even Miss Kitty, the train that's there, is all decorated up for Mardi Gras. Now the German area and Crack Axle Canyon and the boardwalk are all kind of left alone, and is very just how it normally is, which is still nice, but it's not Mardi Gras. But the areas where they do decorate, they go all out, and the decorations there are so great. I love the decorations. They have large figures. They have the garland everywhere. Everywhere you look is purple, green, and gold. It is very festive, and I really do enjoy it a lot. And because of that, Six Flags gets the point. Now, for the next category, food. So this is not going to talk about like the price so much on the food, since I do have a separate category for that. This is just going to talk about their offerings that they have. Now, I tried 2 of the items at Six Flags and 1 of the items so far at SeaWorld. Though I have tried some items from last year at Six Flags. Now, they both have a really good selection of specialty food items that you can get while you're at the park, as well as specialty drink items as well. So if you like to have a little bit of alcoholic beverage or even a mocktail, they do offer some of those. You know, you can go and get that. Both of them have really great offerings. And so because of that, I am going to give SeaWorld a point. So SeaWorld, you're going to get your first point for this category. And then Six Flags, I'm going to give you a point as well, because I thought you both had really good offerings. Now, both of them, I did try the beignets for both parks. And I have to say, I did enjoy. Six Flags had a little bit of more of that layered that you think of more, where it has like the layers and the flakiness for like the beignet. But I mainly just kind of tasted like oil. So I really, I didn't really care for those. And I did think that it was a little tough. I feel like it wasn't that fresh. I feel like that maybe the problem with that one was that it was sitting for a while, is what I'm thinking. I didn't get it very fresh. And if you don't eat the beignet, you know, fresh right away, it's going to, you know, get very dense and hard. And I think that's what happened to my beignet at Six Flags. Now, at SeaWorld, I also got a beignet there. It was made fresh, but I'm pretty sure they just used like Pillsbury biscuit dough, or maybe even something cheaper than that, and then just kind of fried it up. It didn't taste all that great. And then, of course, both of them have the powdered sugar on it. So I really didn't care for either of them. So no bonus points are going to get awarded here for that dish. Now, for the value of the food, for price to price, each park was kind of on the same. The beignets were about $1 cheaper at Six Flags than they were at SeaWorld. Now, here is where Six Flags is going to get the lead, and it's going to get my point for this. Is Six Flags, when you get a meal plan, like the all-day dining pass, which SeaWorld also does have an all-day dining pass, or if you have the meal plan for all season, which SeaWorld does not offer that, but with the season pass for the meal, you get 2 meals for your visit with a 4-hour increments. Both of the all-day dining passes, you're allowed to get something to eat every 90 minutes. Now, for SeaWorld, it is not included. None of the specialty items are allowed as one of your food items when you go. So I had the all-day dining pass when I went, and I was hoping that I'd be able to get some of the specialty items on the all-day dining pass, and that was not allowed as any of my options. So because of this, the only thing that I got was the beignet, which I paid extra for. Now, for the Six Flags, if you have that meal plan, if you have a all-day dining pass, you can choose to get one of those items. You can choose to get, at every 90 minutes, you can go to a different food place and you can get that. So because of that, as I mentioned, Six Flags, you're going to get this point for that because I feel like that is a better value because you can get the all-day dining pass and then you can try all of the different food items that they have for Mardi Gras. Shows. So when I went to SeaWorld, they do have like the parade, I guess, which I do have a separate category for that. And it looked like they had another setup for a show. I wasn't able to catch it, unfortunately, because their app didn't mention it at all. It didn't mention the other show. I walked past and I saw that there was a stage set up. So they don't give you there's no paper event schedule that you can get of the shows. So they want you to use the app. And when you go to the map of the park, they give you the QR codes so you can download the app and they'll have the shows listed on there. However, none of the Mardi Gras shows, or at least that Mardi Gras show, was not listed on there. So unfortunately, I was not able to catch this show. I don't know how it was. But as far as I could tell, they have that one show and then they have the parade. And that is all that they have for Mardi Gras. Now, for Six Flags has 6 different shows as well as a parade. And their shows are amazing. Every single one of them is better than the next. I started off my day going to Dance Parade, which was like an acrobatic and singing and dancing. There's stilt walkers. It was so great, and they sang and they danced. They had some more modern kind of music as well as some older music as well. So I thought it was a really great start, and that's like the first thing that you go to when you walk in. There's a stage right there in the Texas State Square area. It is decorated all around you for Mardi Gras. And then right after that show, you can go over to the Looney Tunes one, where again, they are all decked out for Mardi Gras. The stage is decorated for Mardi Gras. You have the Looney Tune characters, which are so cute. And they're dancing to the music, and then you actually have performers that are singing along with them. And so it is such a fun family event. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really great. Now, so obviously, in case you haven't figured this out on who's going to get my point for this, obviously it's Six Flags. This is getting the point because their shows are amazing. Voodoo Dolls, first of all, Big Easy Band with Garyon, Charles, and Xander, amazing. You have to go see the Big Easy Band. They definitely bring that Mardi Gras party vibe. And then Voodoo Dolls actually won a Golden Ticket Award for Best New Show last year, and they brought it back this year with a lot of the same performers in it, and it is amazing, and it's over there at the Rockville High School, so you have to go see that as well. The shows are so great. Like I said, I loved every single one of these shows. So yeah, Six Flags, you get the point. Now, for organization, you may have been able to figure out where this is going to go too. So I had mentioned that there are some problems with the website as far as the scheduling for the show and how I did not know. Now, it did have the parade listed at the correct time. Wrong location. So they sent us over to the Orca Stadium, and I kept on verifying to make sure that was the right spot because the Christmas parade wasn't there last time, or for Christmas. That's not where they have the Christmas parade. And I kind of thought that they'd have the parade kind of in the same spot, but they didn't. They had it over by the Orca, and I was like, okay, maybe they're coming out of that gate right there. Like, I don't know. We waited. Nothing. Waited a few minutes more. Nothing. There was a few other people that were there as well. And they were like, I guess they're not having it. The day I went, it was a little chilly. And there weren't a whole lot of people at the park because of the cold. I think it was like 50 degrees that day. So I was like, you know what? Maybe they decided to cancel it or whatnot because of the cold and there not being a lot of people here. So we go to head towards the exit because, you know, it's getting close to 5 o'clock. They were closing at 5 o'clock that day. The parade was supposed to be at like 4:10. So we're walking down, and lo and behold, what do we catch? It's the parade going by us. And I was so upset because I was there for Mardi Gras. I was there for the parade, and I did not get to see it because their app had us going into the wrong location. So I was super mad about that. Now, Six Flags, they also have a list of their shows, and you know what? Correct location and correct time for all of them. They're a lot more organized on their app, and it is a lot easier to find out what's going on their app. So, Six Flags, you're getting a point for organization. Bravo for you. Now, for the parade, again, I wasn't able to see a lot of the parade. They do have a parade at SeaWorld. I really wasn't able to really didn't get to see it. I got to see the tail end of it. Looked like it may have been fun. But you know what? Because I missed it because of your fault, SeaWorld, I'm not giving you a point. So you're not getting the point for that. Six Flags, you had a fantastic parade. I actually got to be on the float, which I thought was a whole lot of fun. And I got to pass out some of the beads, so I had a great time doing that. The parade itself is a lot of fun. They actually have floats that were from other previous parades that were in New Orleans. So these are official New Orleans Mardi Gras parade floats. And so I thought it was really great. The music, the original score for that was a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely the point is going to Six Flags here. You did a great job on your parade. Now for extra activities. SeaWorld, they had no other extra activities. So there was nothing there. For extra activities, so for kids, there is actually a craft corner at Six Flags. So there's a craft corner where you can go. So if you have like kids, you can go take them there and they can make their own Mardi Gras crown. So I thought that was fun because, you know, kids seem to really enjoy it. I saw a ton of little kids wearing these crowns. So I feel like that is a really fun little additional activity to kind of bring in kids, you know, families together and to give the kids something to do to celebrate Mardi Gras. Merchandise. SeaWorld, they had nothing. So I have nothing to judge them on. SeaWorld had no merchandise for Mardi Gras. Six Flags has a ton of merchandise. In fact, this mask right here, though technically I bought it last year, but let me tell you, it holds up. I've worn this mask on for like a year now. Well, not a whole year because I just wear it for Mardi Gras. But I wore it last year and then I wore it this year. Yes, I wear this on rides. So the majority of the rides that I went on, I wore this. And look at this. These feathers are still here. They have gone nowhere. This is a very well made mask. This is not one of those flimsy masks. This is a really good, decent mask. It is really nice. They have a new mask this year, which is like a jester one, which I thought was really cool. And so, yeah, so this is a great mask. This is one of the things they had. They also have specialty beads and they have shirts and they have purses as well. So yeah, so they have a lot of different merchandise. So Six Flags, you're going to get a point for the merchandise because, I mean, hey, SeaWorld didn't have anything. So, though I do really enjoy the merchandise that was available at Six Flags. So, the total, if you were keeping score, I'm pretty sure you know who won. Because Six Flags, you got a clean sweep. You got all 9 points. You got 1 point for every single category. So you have 9 points. SeaWorld, you did get 1 point because you do offer the food for Mardi Gras. You do have specialty food items. So you get a point for that. Brava, I guess. I mean, woohoo. But really, SeaWorld, why are you even celebrating Mardi Gras? Someone needs to go over to Six Flags and take a look what Six Flags does for Mardi Gras. Because Mardi Gras knows how to party. Mardi Gras put on a whole show. Mardi Gras is at Six Flags is so much fun. And I had a great time celebrating there. SeaWorld, why are you even wasting your time and money? But, I mean, SeaWorld only has the Mardi Gras for a couple of weeks. So, I guess that's why. you wanted to have something, you'd be like, hey, Six Flags is celebrating Mardi Gras. Maybe we should celebrate Mardi Gras too. But you didn't obviously put a whole lot of effort into it or a lot of thought into it. So it's a good thing that it's not sticking around all that long and that it's leaving after this weekend, because it is not worth going to for Mardi Gras at SeaWorld. If you want to have fun and if you want to have a party, you go to Six Flags. If you don't even like rides, you can still go and have a great time celebrating Mardi Gras at Six Flags. You can have an entire day planned out for shows. In fact, on my video that I have for Six Flags, go watch that. I do post at the very beginning of that video my suggested show schedule so that you can watch all of the different shows. There is one time where the shows are very close together, so you're either going to have to leave one show about 15 minutes into it so you can make the other show, or you're going to have to choose between the two shows. But other than that, you can follow along the schedule, so that way you can see all of the different shows that Six Flags has to offer, because you definitely should go to Six Flags for Mardi Gras. It is such a fun time, and they definitely bring the party. Let the good times roll, however you say that in French, which I have no idea how to say that in French, but let the good times roll. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe as well, because that goes a long way with helping my channel grow, which I really hope my channel could grow. I was really happy to get invited for Media Day for Mardi Gras at Six Flags. It was my first media event, so hopefully it won't be my last media event. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and remember, I am the key to your best vacation.